We begin our exploration series of the frescoes at the San Marco Convent in Florence, Italy, often called a living museum. On the second floor of this convent, 43 monk cells are adorned with frescoes by the early Renaissance master, Fra Angelico. Having served as both a convent and a hidden gallery for about 600 years, today we examine the work in the second cell, the Entombment of Christ. Looking at this painting, you'll notice an abundance of oval and circular shapes. The top of the fresco is arched, the entrance to the tomb holding the sarcophagus is rounded, and the halos above the figures' heads are perfect circles. Even the disciples and relatives gathered around Jesus are seated in a circular formation. It is a rounded composition throughout. Thanks to these smooth curves, the piece feels calm despite its sorrowful subject, exuding a gentleness that soothes the grief. The defining characteristic of these frescoes is their collaborative style, blending Renaissance techniques with earlier medieval methods. Almost all the frescoes in these cells follow this pattern. Perhaps that's why, unlike modern works that can be overly abstract, these feel comfortable and accessible, radiating the warm humanity of that era. Now, shall we step into the painting and see what the artist is telling us? Jesus has passed away and is about to be laid into the tomb. Facing the sorrowful and desolate side of Christ's body, the artist employed a dichotomy to complete the work. The area in front of the monk holding a lily on the left serves as the boundary dividing the scene. This boundary also forms a soft S-curve. Take a close look at this boundary. It's not just a simple line. The upper section where the monk stands represents the medieval monastic period of Fra Angelico's time, while the lower section with Christ's body represents the early New Testament era. It is a moment where the present and past collide, a depiction of time travel through the art of painting. Using this dichotomy, the artist connects the era of the Florentine monks with the scene of the crucifixion. While it may be an archaic method of expression, it is a rare sight in modern painting, which makes it all the more precious to me. If you visit in person, you'll realize that another boundary allows 3 different times to coexist, you as a 21st century viewer, the medieval, monk, and the era of Jesus. It is a journey through time made possible by a master's passion. Even into this somber space, light finds its way into. Light shines upon Christ's body, the sarcophagus, and the mountain depicted in the foreground. Notice that the artist did not cast shadows on the people. Instead, shadows are placed only into the crevices of the mountain and the tomb to create a sense of space and weight. The color palette is also striking. The tones at the bottom Jesus' side and the top the monk's side are distinctly different. The ground, in particular, shows a stark contrast. On the earth where Jesus died, there intone a single blade of grass or a green sprout. In contrast, the land above where the monk lives, the era after the resurrection, is lush with green life. It is, in a sense, the land of fruit born from his death. Shall we look at the figures? The lower section depicts the people of that time, likely devastated in front of the tomb. Even in their grief, they are diligently cleansing Christ's body. You can see how the wound in his side from the spear and the nail marks on his ankles have been carefully cleaned by the disciples' devoted hands. And what about Mother Mary? Standing at his head, her clothing is a different color from the other women. Dressed in red, symbolizing suffering and humanity, she gently touches her son's face. She appears not just as the Madonna, but as a mother who has lost her child. Does this scene look familiar? It immediately brings to mind Michelangelo's Pieta. This fresco is a record of a mother's grief, painted a full 60 years before Michelangelo sculpted his masterpiece. It is fascinating to see how 2 masters shared the same sorrow across different eras. Look at the forest into the upper left. The artist's wit shines here. In the narrow spaces, he painted a few flowers into the wider areas, 3 bouquets, and into the large open space behind, a dense forest. This is a climax technique using negative space. It seems to represent the fruit of Christ's death, a spiritual maturity growing from delicate petals into sturdy trees. The monk holding the white lily is interpreted as Street Dominic, the founder of the Dominican order. Since San Marco is a Dominican convent, he appears frequently into these works. The lily symbolizes the purity of Christ's birth, and the saint's hand gesture expresses profound reverence for his sacrifice. Why did Fra Angelico choose this composition? It was to connect the past event to the monk, inviting him to participate in and meditate upon this sorrow. That was the very purpose of this fresco. If you look at the very bottom of the work, you can faintly see the large nails that pierced Christ's body lying into the crevice. This detail, visible only upon close inspection, hints that this place is Golgotha. Finally, Amidst the rounded composition, there is one sole rectangular element, the sarcophagus where Jesus will be laid. Notice it has no lid. This is a symbol of the open tomb, anticipating the resurrection. To me, the artist's creativity truly stands out into this coffin. He used geometry to make it prominent, while everything else is circular, only this sarcophagus is rectangular. This genius of Fra Angelico is evident into his other works as well, some of which even influenced modern painters. Please look forward to our upcoming videos. There is one unique thing about this museum. You can't stare at the paintings forever because there are always others waiting to enter the cell. For the sake of the next visitors, we must conclude our journey here. There are many shops in front of and near the convent. I hope you take some time to rest there and reflect on the message of the fresco. I will be back soon with another art journey. Until then, may you remain into the peace of the Lord. This has been Symbols into Masterpieces. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share this with friends who love art. Thank you.